Welcome, one and all. It's Wolf King and watch Wolf King's vids. Okay, so tonight we have TV doctors. They appear on Fox News. Let's see. It's Dr. Oz, Dr. Phil, and Dr. Drew Pinsky. They give commentary on the COVID-19 pandemic and how apparently it's not a big deal despite the recommendations of the CDC. And their commentary has caused a bit of controversy in society right now. Let's take a look. Okay. There we go.
Let's start with things that are really critical to the nation where we think we might be able to open without getting into a lot of trouble. I tell you, schools are a very appetizing opportunity. I just saw a nice piece in the Lancet arguing that the opening of schools may only cost us 2 to 3% in terms of total mortality. And, that's any life is a life lost. But to get every child back into school where they're safely being educated, being fed, and making the most out of their lives with a theoretical risk in the backside, it might be a trade-off some folks would consider.
People start having enough problems in lockdown that it will actually create more destruction and actually more death across time than the actual virus will itself. 250 people a year die from poverty. And the poverty line is getting such that more and more people are going to fall below that because the economy is crashing around us. And they're doing that because people are dying from the coronavirus. I get that. But look, the fact of the matter is we have people dying. 45,000 people a year die from automobile accidents, 480,000 from cigarettes, 360,000 a year from swimming pools, but we don't shut the country down for that. But yet we're doing it for this, and the fallout is going to last for years because people's lives are being destroyed.
Okay, there was that. And okay, now the interesting thing about this, the former apologized, and while Dr. Phil sort of doubled down on this, as well as said he supported the CDC recommendations regarding social distancing. There we go. Okay.
Realize my comments on risks around opening schools have confused and upset people, which was never my intention. I misspoke. As a heart surgeon, I spent my career fighting to save lives in the operating room by minimizing risks. At the same time, I'm being asked constantly, how will we be able to get people back to their normal lives? To do that, one of the important steps will be figuring out how do we get our children safely back to school. We know for many kids, school is a place of security, nutrition, and learning that is missing right now. These are issues we are all wrestling with, and I will continue looking for solutions to beat this virus.
Okay. All right. All right, now before we get into the commentary, there's just one more video that I want to share with you. That's the statement that Dr. Drew made. Okay, there we go.
The problem we're having is due to panic, not the virus. I was saying this 6 weeks ago. We have 6 deaths from the coronavirus, 18,000 deaths from the flu. Why isn't the message, get your flu vaccine? The entirety of the problem now is that people are being pushed into bankruptcy, travel is down, the supply chain is being interrupted because of panic, not because of the virus. The flu virus in this country is vastly more consequential, and nobody is talking about that.
And again, I say we have a very active flu season, more active than most. It's looking like it's heading to 50,000 or more deaths, not cases, 50,000 deaths, which is...
Okay. That's enough of that. So you guys basically seen it. You have Dr. Oz, Dr. Phil, and Dr. Drew making all sorts of claims about this. Now, let's start with Dr. Oz. All right. Now, he said it's appetizing to reopen the schools because only 2 to 3% of students could possibly die because of it. So he's comfortable with that being a trade-off at the cost of opening schools. I mean, that's great. Even though that there are more than 30,000 dead in the United States from the pandemic and almost 140,000 dead worldwide from the outbreak. This is a cardiac surgeon saying this. I mean, what the hell's going on here that he's going on TV saying this thing? Okay, this guy's been known to promote nonsense like reparative therapy to cure gayness and homeopathy and acupuncture to get rid of cancer and whatnot. So I'm not gonna trust the Wizard of Oz on that. I'm gonna take my chances with that. Next, we got Dr. Phil, who cites poverty, car crashes, and swimming pools as being far greater killers than that of the COVID-19 pandemic. Now, I would cite poverty as something that, yeah, that's a horrible thing. Yeah, we do need to solve poverty. You solve it with education, you solve it with social programs and such. Car crashes, yeah, that is a serious issue. I mean, the funny thing about that's the same number of people that die from lack of sufficient health care. I mean that. So I mean, I would imagine that Dr. Phil might want to, I don't know, argue for Medicare for all if he wants to have that number decreased. And the funny thing about swimming pools is he said, excuse me, that it was 360,000 people that died of swimming pools. That's actually incorrect. That's false. It's actually 3,000. It's 3,600 people. I mean, if it was 360,000, we would fucking just ban those motherfuckers just on outright. We would just get the pools out of America if they were killing that many people. I mean, that's insane. Just ban the usage of it altogether. Yeah. Anyway, and finally, Dr. Drew said in that last clip that you saw, that mirrored Donald Trump's rhetoric. He said that the flu was more dangerous than COVID-19 when actually in the second week of early April, COVID-19 actually claimed 11,165 more lives than the flu. Now, what do these three guys have in common? None of them are experts on pandemic scenarios. Dr. Phil, he's not even a medical doctor, he's a clinical psychologist. But these guys are comfortable with going on Fox News and pretending to be experts on this whole situation and giving their commentary as if it's actual legitimate expertise. I mean, this is essentially this is the equivalent of Ben Stein talking about science, basically. These guys are just giving armchair psychology to something that they have no business talking about. These are the people that are comfortable with making money on TV, promoting their shtick, like raking in cash. Dr. Phil creates that the Cash Me Outside girl and all that stuff. These guys like hawk phony products. And they're comfortable getting on TV and spouting narratives that run contrary to the consensus of medical professionals in this country. I mean, it's ridiculous. These people are the reason we have protesters outside right now trying to fight back against social distancing and trying to argue that we need to reopen the country. Even though we have millions of people are already filing for employment, there are 23 million jobs that have been lost as a result of this. Yet they think it's a good idea to get out and protest amidst this serious issue. I mean, this is going to seriously burden the healthcare system if we do this potentially. And these guys are comfortable being the producers of useful idiots that will go out and argue against their best interest at heart for the sake of what reasons. Now, yeah, I know I do know that the economy being shut down as a result of this is a burden. I get it, but what we need is mass testing. We need to listen to Anthony Fauci. We need to actually listen to the facts, not false narratives, because that is going to increase the death toll in this country, not decrease it. So I would say stay safe, stay healthy. Don't listen to everything you hear on TV as if it's truth because it's complete bullshit. And stop out of there to know. And hell Satan. But yeah, all of these guys have doubled down on their statements, and it's just it's just ridiculous that these people even call themselves doctors on any level, because the stuff they're spewing now is just crap, and they should be ashamed of themselves for even saying it. But that's all I got to say. Peace out. Oh, actually, before I do, the thing about those protests is that make them completely ridiculous is that we've had scenarios that included quarantines in the past that go all the way back to the yellow fever era of the republic. All right, and all of them have been upheld by the Supreme Court. So yeah, that part of it is just ridiculous. So uh, that last thing being said, good night, folks. Take care of yourselves, and hail Satan. Good night.